So, why did I decide on beer and the Taproom Attorney?
Mm-hmm.
Well, really, Corey came up with Taproom Attorney, but
It's a good name.
yeah. So this will be a little slightly dark initially. So my dad died the day after Thanksgiving when I turned 18, and every year after that, I visited my entire family in New England for Thanksgiving. And I'd go up there, and we'd wind up buying beer at one of the breweries. There were a lot, like, during that time.
We'd wind up, like, by accident. Oh, look, a beer.
Yeah. Oh, look. Oh, that's such a shame. There's a
That's a
tall boy in my...
shame.
And anyways, so a little while after I turned 21, which has been, like, 15 years at this point.
It's like last year.
Yeah, it's like last year. So, like, 15 years ago, my brother and my cousin and I used to go to, like, random breweries and pick up beer. And my favorite, most nostalgic one to me is Treehouse in Charlton, Massachusetts. And specifically that one because after Thanksgiving, we'd go up there and you could buy, like, literally one can of beer from them.
Right.
And so we'd go up there, we'd wait in line for hours and buy, like, 1 or 2 cans of beer. Eventually, you could actually drink beer in their tap room, which was, like, a whole big thing. You could try out ones that they didn't have canned. You found out what they were selling the day of, like, they were like, hey, we're canning, and you could go there and, like, try and guess which was the next can coming, but you never know, because they'd order the cans, and you'd kind of guess, like, what it looked like was coming, but none of that. So, anyways, the one I have here is King Julius. It's one of their, there it is, this one. It's one of their, like, most famous beers. They have several different variations of Julius, but King Julius, you can only ever buy 1 can. Ever. Like, you still can't to this day. They have, like, you can, to me, this is so fascinating. You can go up there now and you can get, like, a hand truck and cart out, like, 10 cases of beer. That from, like, when we could buy one can. Well, you can still only buy 1 can of King Julius. But, anyways. So, fast forward to when Corey and I got married in 2014.
Yeah.
We went up to see my brother and visit after we got married. And we went up for Thanksgiving, like I did every year. And my brother was like, hey, you guys want to go to Vermont? Sure. In my mind, Vermont's not that far away. And we actually spent like 3 hours driving to a co-op so we could stand in line for another hour in the cold and the snow. It was snowing. It never snows when we go up there. And to buy a heady topper, which Corey has a can of right here.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah. He didn't even open it yet.
You're hiding it from me.
Oh
my God. Oh, listen to this. This is good soundbite. Delicious.
So we went up there. We bought the heady toppers made by the Alchemist. They're in Stowe, Vermont. And we went up there and bought a bunch of beer and brought it back. And Corey went to Seattle with a whole bunch of heady topper. And the other one they make, what's the other one they make? I'll remember it later.
Well, I don't remember any of this because I also went there with some Forester birthday bourbon and subsequently forgot.
Oh, it wasn't birthday bourbon. No.
Oh, was it not?
You had E.H.
Oh,
Taylor,
Taylor
unfiltered
barrel
proof. Yeah.
See, that's how strong it is.
It's a blur.
It's the eraser.
Yeah, because you were there for like a month. It's crazy.
Yeah, thank you, Amazon. Appreciate that.
Yeah, so we came back. We drove back from New England to Kentucky, and then Corey got on an airplane an hour later and flew to Seattle for a month.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks after we got married. And then he moved to Texas without me.
So I had my heady topper.
And, yeah, then we spent like 9 months apart while I lived in Kentucky until I got a job and moved to Texas. So that's how we wound up with Texas.
Yeah.
It's great. But anyways, so beer is really special to me. It's really important to me. It's like we get together with my family and we go through and we play cards and we all have like 2 or 3 of these giant beers, which is always a great idea. And just hang out and enjoy the time. So
What's the funniest place we've drank in New England?
Oh gosh, Taylor, what do you think? Where was the funniest place when we took you? We took Taylor this summer up with us. She's what do we want to call Taylor? She's our customer experience manager. Hashtag Robin's assistant.
Hashtag adopted redheaded child.
Yeah, redheaded stepchild.
Hashtag nobody wants one of those.
But we took you. So we went on a
Get in there.
we went on a 2-week trip to New England this year in July and brought her with us.
It was last year, but yeah.
Yeah, last July. And drove all the way from Texas all the way up to Portland and then back down.
5,500 miles in a Winnebago.
Yep.
Great.
Corey drove the whole way.
Oh yeah.
So what was the weirdest place we drank, Taylor?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think any of them were necessarily like weird. It was, campsites and was spacing about anywhere else.
Okay.
So, I was thinking, pre-Taylor, the back of Tim's van, the parking lot of the old folks' home.
Yeah, we have, so my uncle's family is so large that we have to have Thanksgiving in like this old folks home. It's not an old folks home. It's like a VFW hall, but it's like an old person community center.
Citizen center, yeah.
Yeah. And you're not allowed to have alcohol in it.
No.
So one of my cousins has 4 daughters, and they're all older now, but he still has his white panel van from when they were younger.
But aptly no hair.
Yeah, and he has no hair. And anyways, so we get in his van and we drink in his van and we talk about stuff and make fun of him and talk about how we should put free ice cream on the side of his van.
Didn't one of his kids do something like that?
One of his kids thought that was a great idea. One time I told her, and she may have tried it. So I don't know how successful she was, but yeah.
The fact that we didn't hear about it means it was a great shining success.
Yeah. Yeah. She was like, I'm going to do that. Like, don't tell him I told you. Please.
Local Stop and Shop manager arrested today on suspicions of...
Yeah. My cousin is the general manager of a Stop and Shop somewhere in New England. We'll put that really vague. Somewhere in New England. It could have changed since which one he's the manager of. But anyways. They also live on an airport.
Yeah, indeed.
I was thinking perhaps the time we went up to Charlton to go to Treehouse, and I was pregnant, so it would have been 2017 we went up there.
Oh, yeah.
And as we went up, bought beer, and as soon as we moved, like, as soon as I drove over into Connecticut, like, they started opening beers, and I hear click, 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 and my brother and Corey in the back of the van drinking, and that continued for a long time. That was the same time that we went up for a funeral. That was the funeral that we went up for.
Yeah,
and we drank in the parking lot of the funeral. Yeah, it was great. So anyways, as you can see, beer is a big part of my life, and now forcefully Corey's life, and now forcefully Taylor's life, because we forced her into it. So, she's our redheaded stepchild. Anyways, so, and then why the podcast? Corey and I did a video, like a year ago at this point, or more, maybe a year and a half ago, about what a trust is. And it's super long. And I was like, well, we should continue that. And then that never happened. And then we were at a convention that I go to for attorney law firm owners. And someone came up to us and was like, you guys have to do more of those. You have to do more of those. You guys are so fun together. And I was like, cool. Can you tell my husband that? And I brought him over, and we decided we were just going to do it. Now, here's the execution. We have the Taproom attorney, Robin Forsyth, and non-attorney spokesman, Corey Forsyth, and
Taylor's here for some reason.
Redheaded stepchild, Taylor Blevins. So, just for fun and to talk about random estate planning things, tax. Tax is always a good one, especially considering it's tax season. Get your taxes done. Please learn how to read your taxes. please learn how to read your taxes.
But I have TurboTax and a lifetime subscription.
If you have TurboTax, you especially need to read your tax return.
You need to print that crap out and take it to a tax attorney. That's what you need to do. And quit giving them money.
Sorry, Intuit.
Oh, no.
Sorry, not sorry.
I speak from experience. It's fine.
I also speak from experience because at the beginning of tax season every year when I worked for the state of Kentucky, we did, I worked in the fraud unit for the state of Kentucky for taxes. And every year, never failed, TurboTax errors.
Mm-hmm.
Which always turned into a weird thing, like when that one lady sent me a fake W-2 and it was printed on like cardboard. Right? Like
What?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Okay.
Why would you do that? So, long story short, she put too much money in her withholding for Kentucky, and I knew it was wrong. And all it did was like I don't know, triple it. Really wasn't that much money. But I caught it and I was like, this is wrong. And then I asked her to send me her original W-2. She's like, oh, yeah, I have that. So she sent it to me. And you know, like, when you buy really nice paper, it has, like, that extra cardboard piece on the bottom to keep it from getting bent and everything. It's not quite cardboard. It's just, like,
like a piece of cardstock or something. Yeah.
Right, yeah. And so she reprinted it on that.
Oh, she was out of paper even. And just
And
like,
sent it
I'm
to
so
me.
broke.
Sent it to me. And then I opened it, and you could see the original marks from her original W-2 and then where she had taken a ballpoint pen and written over it. And I was like, and you could see the dents.
The forgery skills of a 9-year-old.
Like, I was like,
No, Mommy, I didn't get a D.
Right? It's a B. It's a B, Mommy. I know that the original one is in black, but this is in blue, so it's fine. Everything's fine. So anyways,
So we should do an episode
she got a
on
felony.
like fraud stories.
Oh, I got so many of those. Like the daycare that I investigated where they were buying beer and liquor from the account and charging it against supplies.
Those are some cool babies.
I really hope they're not giving it to the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
At least not all of it.
Well, they also had like where they were going to like the casino and stuff too. So
The children.
I don't know if the children were going. I still don't know. I don't have answers.
Oh man.
I wish I did, but that was funny. Yeah. And then like we want to talk about some of the crazy stuff we've seen since I've opened the firm. We opened in 2019. Gosh, there's some good ones. Like the person that ransomed a will, that was great.
Mm-hmm.
They took the important pages of the will out of the will and then like left a note for the family. Like, if you want to see this will, you have to do X, Y, and Z.
Was there like any? Did you get to see the will? Let me ask that first.
No.
Never got to see it.
They didn't hire us, but
No, that's a good thing.
probably.
That's what we call a D customer.
Is it? Is it though?
Mm-hmm. Maybe an F.
I don't know. It was funny though.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that, like you almost can't believe happened.
I mean, you start out that way, and then you do this for a year, and you go, oh, okay.
Like not a lot surprises me. Usually, but sometimes I go, "You did what?"
Most of the time when I go to tell you a story that I'm like, this is crazy, you're just like, oh, yeah, I've seen that before.
Because I spent the first year like on the phone with my first assistant and like that I ever hired. So that was entertaining. And if you're in the attorney world, we have Legal Match, and that's where all the fun people come to hang out with us and give us stories of great wisdom and joy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And pain.
I get to see a handful of those off some other lead sources we have, and the very brief messages that are just loaded with so much crazy that people put in those things are hilarious. Like, if you give me a 2-sentence explanation of your matter and I can already see the paranoia inside of you, like,
my dad died.
sympathetic.
Here's my dad died. We have 9 siblings, but Dad told me I get the house.
Yeah. When did he tell you? Did he write it down?
Well, no.
Of course
He told
not.
me verbally.
Yeah. In a dream.
He told me.
Dad came to me last night and said, "The house is yours. Move in."
He told me on his deathbed. The nurses were there.
The deathbed recollection's a great angle.
Yeah.
The nurse was. Oh, you have a witness.
The nurse was there. It doesn't matter. It has to be written down in the state of Texas.
Yeah,
just so you know.
there are statutes.
Just FYI, we live in Texas. Texas also allows you to have a holographic will, so you have to have something. Write something down and sign it. Please. If you really want that for your life, please do it.
So you said holographic. What's that?
Holographic means written in your own hand and signed by your own hand. So you sit there and you write out, today is February 15th, 2022, and I would like Corey to have my most beloved dog, Chewy, upon my death. And I sign it. That's a holographic will. I don't know that Corey wants Chewy, but...
I like the Chew. He's a good dog.
Taylor might take Chewy.
Maybe.
I don't know. He's a
Let
good
him
dog.
defile my dog all the time. Sorry.
I mean, like, it's better than having Hammy. I don't know. Corey is Chewy, my dog, is a Corgi cross.
Yeah.
Maltese, Corgi, Boston Terrier. And Corey's is a full Corgi. And it has rocks for brains.
Yeah, here he is. I'll put a picture of him right here.
Yeah, rocks for brains. It's probably him laying on the couch in some seductive manner.
That's his Tinder profile pic.
He should have a Tinder profile.
Onlyhams.com.
Yeah, his name's Hamilton, so I've always wanted to make Only Hams. I actually think I looked it up and it was taken and it was something stupid, but...
Like actual hams.
Yeah, like
It's boring.
smoked hams.
It's a meme. It's only hams, and it's like a photo of a ham.
Okay, so somebody beat us to the joke is what you're telling me.
Well,
That's
I mean,
okay.
yeah.
Can't win them all.
But it's not a dog. So, I mean, I feel like people would pay $5 a month to watch your dog every day do ham stuff.
Ham stuff. Yeah, maybe.
We could sell pictures of ham feet.
I could get him one of those ink pads that we could do autographs.
Ooh, yeah, I like it. Yeah, and then we can get
Hamagraphs.
Preston to like write on them in his like.
Oh yeah, Preston's got some freaky good handwriting.
So, Preston, who answers our phones, who if you've ever called, you may have talked to Preston. He's left-handed, but he has like the best handwriting on the planet,
You
which
say
is
that
very
like
rare.
Well, I did find out, because I have bad handwriting, and I always blamed it on being a lefty. But I did find out that really, really nice handwriting he does. That's with his right hand.
Really?
He doesn't have a dexterous.
Okay, well
I
that's
thought
helpful.
he was, yeah.
So I can
Yeah.
still play the whole, it's because I'm a lefty thing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, but he has like perfect. Like I came into his office like right after he started working for me, and I saw like this Post-it note, and I was like, "How'd you get the printer to print on the Post-it note?" He was like, "Oh, that's my handwriting."
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? You write like that? Okay, yeah, sure. Anyways, so that's Preston.
Crazy.
Poor Preston. Preston applied to work for the McKinney Police Department, and they called him and asked him why he let his mother fill out his application form, because his handwriting was too good. So, poor guy. We'll make fun of him, and he can hear about it later. All right.
That's fine.
So, why do you like beer, Corey? What's your story with beer?
My story with beer, I guess it's kind of the same story as you. Like, I never got into like craft beer or anything. Because of some friends I had in Kentucky, I was into the bourbon scene a little bit, but
A little bit.
I've seen your house, Corey.
Yeah, I know, right? You have a few bottles of bourbon. But yeah, I never really got into like the whole craft scene. Like the beers I'd had were local in Kentucky, and that's gotten better, I hear. But at the time, that was not a great scene. So going to New England the first time before we were married, the first time we went up there together, was really the first time I'd had like a New England IPA or like a craft anything that was worth drinking. And then, like you, it became about the adventure, about like going together. It was the few times a year we got to see Len, so that became like what
My
we
brother.
do with Len. Yeah.
Len's my brother.
Yeah, he's the one Robin was mentioning about driving us up to Stowe. So it became more of like a nostalgic thing. And then when we finally relocated to Dallas, well, the beer scene's hopping here, of course. So we got into things like, Carl and Misty have Manhattan Project down the road. Tups is right across the street from us. So it kind of became one of those ways that we explored our new home in Texas is through craft beer. And even in our stint there in Ohio, it was the same thing. We hit West Side Brewing, we hit Rheingeist and Mad Tree. Like, that was...
Yeah, Mad Tree was across the street from our church.
Yeah, it was.
So we used to go after church.
Or before. Like, they had awesome breakfast pizza. So, like, we were the people, like, toddler in tow, stroller, bottles, change of clothes. Like, wheel the stroller in there and, you know, breakfast pizza and IPAs. Or
when she was 6 weeks old, we brought her to her first brewery.
Yeah, we got a picture of that.
Yeah. And then, like, we've been to Street Side where they make sours.
I forgot about Street Side.
Yeah. And West Side Brewery is really near us because we lived on the west side of Cincinnati. Yep. And Corey's first Father's Day was at...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I still have a mug.
Yeah, it's faded now, but it's still an exists.
Like my hair.
I don't know how that particular item has made it 4 years of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have a history of, well, maybe it's more biased toward me, but I break
Smile,
things.
Corey.
Yeah.
Smile for the camera. Tell them how you break things.
So, for Valentine's Day, part of what Robin got me was 2 new wine glasses because up till recently, I'd broken them all. Robin just broke one, so welcome to the club. It's rubbing off.
Do you remember when we went to IKEA for like the first time you'd ever been to IKEA and we bought wine glasses?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like the first time at IKEA, right? Like everybody's like, oh, I get everything. They have so much cool stuff. And we bought like the palette of wine glasses, you know, the Efflumaskeens or whatever you call them. And we checked them out, paid for them, had them on the, like, you know, the sled with the wheels that are all funny. You guys have skateboarded on them too. You know what I'm talking about. And I get them all the way to the door. And I don't know if, like, the door started to close or if maybe we'd been drinking. Like,
maybe.
We got to put that qualifier on there.
We probably went somewhere first and then went to IKEA.
We probably went to Mad Tree and then went to IKEA. And
we took my mother. My mother was with us. So, yeah. She laughed at you.
Yeah. But long story short, like, the box got crushed and I broke, I think, all but, like, 2 of the wine glasses right there in the store. And I was just
out of 12. And we had already paid for them.
Yeah, just fuck it. And I took the 2 in my hand and we walked out. So,
so that's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, and then at home, like, I break things. So I break things.
Yeah, it's okay. We won't talk about that. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite beer? Oh, Corey likes Trillium.
Yeah.
Trillium's his favorite. They're in Boston. Well, they're in Canton, which is home of Dunkin' Donuts. So if you're a true New Englander, you love Dunkin' Donuts.
There's one on every corner.
There really is, isn't it? Were you surprised?
Yes, I was. I have never seen so many Dunkin' Donuts.
It's even worse than Starbucks, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
It's like a law.
They're everywhere.
Every borough, every street.
Every street. Because that's what you do. So
man, I'd be hard pressed to pick a favorite beer. Like, I could pick one maybe per market. Like, this is really good in New England. The Heady Toppers. It's nostalgic and it's hard to find, so it's special. Like down here, I'd say another shout out to Manhattan. Like the stuff they come out with is really consistent and well flavored. I like some of the stuff at Tups, but it's just not my jam.
I love Tups.
What is the place with the good sours down toward the southwest to here? Where Taylor fell off the benches.
Beard Science? Oh, no. You mean
Brutal, right?
Brutal Beer Works.
Brutal Beer Works.
They're in Bedford.
Bedford. I couldn't think of the name of the town.
And then Beard Science is really good. They're at the truck yard.
They're both good. They're both good for sours.
Pickle.
So, like,
Beard Science is pickle.
That's one of the things. I get into a sour mood, and like those are the 2 go-tos.
When it's warm, sours are like the thing, right? But sure. IPAs are. I like a beer I can chew. So, anyways, it's kind of my jam.
What's chew have to do with anything?
I don't know. I like the mouthfeel, you know? We have all the jokes about beer. The mouthfeel. What's the other ones? My brother.
Oh, the dankness.
The dankness, yes. So dank.
Cat piss, even.
Yeah. So, my brother famously, to me, I thought at some point on Untapped, he had written that one of the beers tasted like cat piss.
And he may have, but he unilaterally denied it thereafter.
Yeah.
So it never happened.
Yeah. No, he did it. It was cat piss. It's fine. It's fine. Some beer is bad.
And maybe it was one of the people at Pub 32, is it?
Yeah.
The local.
Pub 32 is closed now.
I know.
COVID broke it.
As it did many of those types of things, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. How many times have we gone to something that's closed and wound up
drinking
in the parking lot instead?
Yeah. it's not PC, but I joke that I have my own cancel culture because everything that I like and I find out there to buy, and I'm like, oh, this is so awesome. Like, why hasn't anybody made this? Canceled a week later. I can't think of any examples really.
There's popcorn. Corey had a popcorn.
Oh, the popcorn, yeah.
When my daughter was little, when we first had her, he had a popcorn he loved, and he would eat it. And like it had like this salted caramel thing.
Yeah, it was like Orville Redenbacher's salted caramel. Like it wasn't like freaking magic. It was just you buy it at Kroger, canceled.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So, you can buy it on Amazon for like $500. Just so you know.
Aftermarket popcorn.
Yeah, aftermarket popcorn. It's a thing. How do you think people make money on Amazon? Canceled stuff.
Alibaba. But yeah, I digress.
So, okay. So,
Cool.
but you like Trillium, right? So Trillium opened a new location while we were up there in July, and that was a nightmare, might I add.
I reserve my right to like Trillium and to be kind of mad about how they handled the opening, considering that we were there all day long. We drove all that way, and they had no food at the opening of a restaurant.
Oh, no, and it was super great because we spent, 2.5 hours, like, waiting to have our seat.
Yeah.
And then we got there, we sat down, and Corey really wanted this clam chowder pizza, which
right.
I don't eat seafood, but, like
maybe it was good. Like, it's just a New England novelty. Like,
right.
That sounds cool.
And they
Let's do that.
They didn't have pizza.
Well,
They're like, oh, we're not selling pizza. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, well, why did we wait for so long? Then you hand me a menu that's got all these things on it.
Yeah.
Like a $2 sign. Sorry, no pizza today. Like, I get it. You're opening. You're new. But... And the poor waitress, like, bless her heart, as they say.
Bless her heart.
Had to come back 3 times and like, we're out of that. We're out of that. We're out of that. I'm like... What a bad place to put your people in. That's the real shame if you're watching this one. Don't put your employees in the situation where they're going to have to tell the customer no.
Yeah.
5 times in a row.
You failed at that point as a business owner. And Trillium should have known better.
Oh, yeah, but they're still young. They are a young company, and launches are difficult. So, like...
They're in a new building. So they used to be in this place where, like, you couldn't get parking anywhere. In their original location, like I said, the home of Dunkin' Donuts in Charlton. They have several other locations, like in Fenway and stuff.
Yeah, Fenway Park did acres now in the new Canton location.
But, like, this is an old Reebok place. Like, Reebok used to own
old
this.
Manufacturing
Yeah, it's their old manufacturing. And they had, like, worked really hard. Like, we even tried to go outside at one point to, like, sit down, and they were like, oh, that's closed. Oh, we can't sit outside in July? Cool. Where do we go? Well, you can sit inside. All right. And it was rough. It was a bad experience, but it's okay. We still like their beer. Or yeah.
That's all right.
It's all right.
So we got 4 minutes left. Anything else you want to tease in today?
What do you want? What do you like? What do you find unique about working at our law office, Taylor? You've worked some interesting places. What's your jam? Do you like it here? No pressure.
That look doesn't say no pressure. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, I love it here.
Got a gun under the table.
Where's my gun? This is Texas. Where's my gun? Okay.
No, it's been great. I have learned a lot. That's probably my favorite part of this job is just how much I've learned. And, I learn something new every day. And eventually all the gears start to snap into place and everything's connected. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Do you like helping people, or is it just me? It's all me, isn't it? That you just love me.
I'd say like 90% you, 10% other people.
Robin needs 90% help, so that's fine.
But on the bright side, we just had 2 new attorneys. Isn't that exciting?
That is very exciting. Words cannot express how excited I am.
It doesn't sound like you're excited, so it's okay.
Well, no, but I'm just not good at expressing my feelings, Robin.
Okay, it's fine. You and Corey can have a meeting about it later. You can learn about how much you care about each other. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine.
We're besties now, Corey.
I've said apparently, yeah. We need like those the locket necklaces that you give out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've got another half to this keychain.
Oh yeah, the pink keychain.
You gotta hold up the keychain. At least tell the Preston part of the keychain story here.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I got to miss the introduction as far as to why Preston ended up with this pink poof
Is that his?
It was.
Oh, okay, you have it now.
But we don't have keys to a mailbox anymore.
You don't just make him wear it out of shame?
We used to, but...
Okay. Well, tell me, what was the shame that led to the pink poof keychain?
So at our old office, we had mailbox keys. And they stayed in a little bag and everything's fine. And then we hired Preston. And then all of a sudden, the mailbox keys were just gone all the time. And I was frantically searching the entire office thinking that I had lost them. Turns out he had a thing for taking them home. So we gave him the pink poof to ensure that he wouldn't lose them again.
He was so upset. Poor guy.
I know, but he carried the poof. He carried it well.
It did.
All right.
So we got 2 minutes.
I gotta get on my phone. That's what Sean came down to.
All right. Bye.
All right. And then we can come back after
Okay.
you have your meeting and I have my meeting.
All right.
Bye, folks. It's a little late, but that's okay.
Peace out. Hey everybody, thanks so much for listening to our podcast today. If you loved it, go ahead and subscribe. And you can also find us wherever you love to listen to podcasts. I love Apple Podcasts. Corey loves Spotify. So just pick us up wherever you want. If you want to look at our tour schedule, you can go to taproomattorney.com or you can find us on Facebook at Taproom Attorney.